Every journey begins with a single choice. A step into the unknown.
What you waiting for? I think we're ready to ride.
In the world of crypto, as in life, the road is unpaved, uncertain, and unforgiving. But it is here, in the face of challenge, that true potential is forged. This isn't just about wealth, it's about freedom, about becoming the best version of yourself no matter how far or hard the road may seem. Because success isn't about shortcuts. It's about the discipline, the grind, and the vision to see it through. This is your journey. Your chance to break free, to create, to conquer, to live beyond limits. Welcome to the Alliance.
The Greys have long mastered space, but now they have mastered value. Two technologies, two power sources, one mission. DGGC, the foundation of the Greys' digital economy. 12O, the limitless force that fuels expansion. Powered by Pulsechain, engineered for those who seek the future. DGGC builds the foundation. UFO breaks the boundaries. Evolve, optimize, ready for the next era. The network expands. The transmission is live. The Greys are watching.
I'm not fucking around. I'm here to take over, man. I am not fucking around. Who's got more money than me or skill than me? Who's a better marketer than me? Who's a better debater than me? Nobody. Here's how the math works out. I bought Bitcoin at 30, and it went up to 65,000. And I bought it in 2011, and then it went to 65,000 in 2021.
Good morning, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A lot has been going on in the last couple of days. I'll be telling you that during this lovely week. Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. Everybody's loving just knowing how everything actually works and operates in the market. And I got my guy, Kong, ex-developer, and a good friend of mine, and we're going to be kind of like talking about, with all the chaos, all the bullshit being talked about, you know, we're just here grinding, working our ass off, building for the future. What a concept. Kong, how you doing, man? How's your Friday going?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day, beautiful Friday. So I'm excited to be on the stream again. We're gonna be talking about, I guess, the the future of what we're building out here on Pulsechain with X protocol, right? I don't know if there's that many projects actually still building and trying to grinding it out and trying to make a sustainable like future still, even at these prices. Because I think I will say, just like right off the bat, is like it's easy when everything's no all-time highs every day, right? But when it's not like that, and when everything's kind of down and everyone's uncertain, like, you know, the real builders, I think that's where they're going to shine. That's where we're gonna kind of dig our roots in as well. So
yeah, man. And I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I woke up this morning and it was like, what's going on? I don't even know. Looks like I need to go return it. Maybe it was Rat or Jim Rat actually provided this camera, or that was provided the camera. But anyway, sorry. Low blow, low blow.
Jim Rat supply chain infiltration.
Yeah, I'm gonna take two years off, not knowing anything that's going on. Blah 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 blah. Oh, I know so much shit. I know so much shit about looking up everything in the blockchain, all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, cool. Were you looking up all this information about PDI and all the wallets and all the wallets incorporated with the Tropa and all that kind of stuff, and then actually going through every single wallet that was connected to the OA bit by bit, even if a wallet actually goes through Tornado Cash? Does anybody know how to go through wallets that will go through Tornado Cash and trying to figure out which wallet those are? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I can. But anyways, it's all good. Yeah, let's talk about some of the pretty cool updates that we're going to be going, or like, actually we already have a couple of things that we've been working on, and it's going to be, or how do you want to go about this? Should we talk about one by one, or kind of like what's the things that we want to go over step by step, you think?
I think I would just cover as much stuff as possible and just kind of get the get the baseline of everything covered.
Yeah, man. All right, so there's a lot of things to go over, but let's see. Let's start by
I would say start with the Alliance Next integration.
Yeah. So so the Alliance X and Empire X community, we're gonna kind of be migrating it collectively with X protocol, and a lot of people are going to be asking why we thought about doing this as a team, to start doing these type of things. And the reasons why is what we have established already when it comes to the Alliance, and having to grow as many people as possible, because it's not like a fucking just like shill fucking shit tokens type of community, or all the calls that me and Kong actually do and provide for the people that are in the community already. And then also the Empire X, I think we have the best bots when it comes to all launches of CAs. All like there's always we have like a lot of, I don't know, dev wallets that we have incorporated. So if any of them like add liquidity, or any of them pull liquidity, and like right away we get notified about all that information. Another thing that we actually get informed of is all the pump dot tires. So like, like early adopters on like pump dot fun over in Solana, there was a lot of people that kind of created those bots that whenever there was a launch or anything, there was a potential to, I don't know, snipe or get in early. But we have all the bots that can incorporate all the launches. And when a token gets launched on pump tires, we'll see the owner. And then basically we have information that gets notified to us. How many launches has this person actually done? And then also it notifies us red, saying it did not migrate to Pulsechain. And then if it says green, then that actually notifies us as well. So it did migrate. So let's just say there's a new launch that just came out, and basically it just got, it has 4 red, so it didn't migrate that full, or they didn't migrate 4 of them. So hypothetical, or not hypothetically, but thinking about that and looking at what actually could be the outcome of this launch, it's like, all right, they had 4 tokens that they launched that didn't get migrated, and maybe they had 1, so when this new one comes out, you just start to think, it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't play with and be gambling with this certain one. But there are those ones that, of course, it does the opposite thing also. And another thing that we have incorporated with all these bots and everything. So when it comes to the pump tires, when it comes to all new CAs, all new LP pools, we have incorporated too a Telegram bot where you can basically click a button. It will pull up pull up the just pull it up or pull up the bot, and then you basically pick what kind of gas that you want to provide. You press buy or buy token. You of course you press the thing in your press submit in your MetaMask or whatever kind of wallet that you have, and then basically that actually goes and actually directly buys it off of Pulsechain. So there's a lot of different things, and then of course when it comes to the alliance, you get a call every single Monday, and you get to listen to me, Kong, and myself talking about Bitcoin, talking about Ethereum, talking about the S&P 500, because everything flows together with one way or another. So it's like if the SPY is moving down, let's just say if SPY is moving down 5%, more likely or not, Bitcoin is actually going to be doing the same thing, or in some kind of way. Maybe it's going down 1%, maybe it's going down 2%. But those things are talked about. Plus, we always go over all the liquidity or liquidations. We go over different other things. I'm not gonna mention here because just learn and come and hang out. And another thing, what we're trying to do and provide and build is the greatest degen people, but also people that actually want to learn, want to transition themselves with a lot of people that have the same kind of principles and mindsets of builders and people of we don't really have people of influence, but besides me and Kong and Spy. But anyways, there's so much more to provide there. And then also with that being said, with the Empire package, so you get all the bots and all that kind of stuff. And then now we have decided as a team that look into PGC is all going to be incorporated with the package. So what does that mean? So all the people that are subscribers to the look into PGC and all the in-depth information is all going to be provided with the Empire X. So the reason why we wanted to do this was to provide just a little bit easier access, plus getting all this information and actually being able to participate with everybody. And it also minimizes the KYC risk, or if you don't want, because you don't have to say your name, address, and all that kind of information when adding it. So it's just going to be incorporated with the Pulse. And majority of the people here on Pulsechain would rather just use or pay with Pulse than anything else. And then let's see what else is going to be happening there. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting to do a referral program too. And the cool thing about this referral program, what we're going to try to attract is people off the chain. So people in Solana, people in Ethereum, because I really think the people over on Solana is getting really bored because Pump.tires or Pump.fund is not actually up and running because they're going to jail because there's something about, I think it's something have to do with the amount of SOL that they're getting. I think they got $500 million worth of SOL and just sold it on the open market. And I really think the SOL Foundation or whatever were the people that actually is creating this lawsuit against I know I could say I can't say. Sorry, guys, but you should know who runs that company.
You said enough.
It's just kind of funny and ironic with everything, but gosh, you want to know something I learned last night? You want to know something? I need to
What was
actually. No, I can't. I'll tell you off the stream. We can't get demonetized already.
not this early.
But anyways, guys. So we're gonna be merging X Protocol and Elite Alliance X and Alliance X and the Empire X. And we're going to start marketing with that X protocol because there's a couple other things that we're going to be or we've been working on as a team. And another thing that I'm going to say about the future of X protocol, we're going to be, of course, if there's a project that wants to come to us and wants to build out a contract or a website, we're going to be doing that for people. But this is the thing. We're no longer going to be doing like the build on X protocol type of thing. If you want to add liquidity and get the kind of the free ride from the greatest builders of the world and just know how the X liquidity pools are built because the river flow is perfect. So yeah, it's going to be like this. I just love like I'm like it's so funny was I've been listening to all these spaces. I've been listening, I've just been listening, like, do I want to go up and just start talking shit? Yeah, who wouldn't? But it's just I feel like it's so much better just to listen. Listen about hear all the emotions, hear all the rhetoric they try to specify what they feel what's going on, and it's like they really do not understand the bigger picture of market cycles. They don't really understand the bigger picture of how to build and develop a layer one that's going to have longevity and has a group of builders and community members that have what's the word? Understanding what could be possible in the future. So it's just it's going to be really cool because with everybody doing that, we're just grinding, trying to build for the future, and then yeah, and it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a really cool couple months, especially for X Protocol and X. Remember, X Protocol and X are two different entities. X is the people's token. X Protocol is the development protocol. We can build it, grind it, and keep on delivering for the people of Pulsechain. Let's see. Let me think. So Alliance, we're gonna do that. Migrate. Referral code referral, which is gonna be pretty cool. I'm not gonna tell you exactly like what the referral program is gonna be all about, but you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Let's see. Do you want to jump into like what are the sniper bot and all that kind of stuff?
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, if you want to pull that up for us. And so this is the newest development that X Protocol is working on. And Kong's going to explain it a little bit more in depthly. But it's going to be X Protocol. And some of the fees are going to be incorporated into developing that interface more and more on a daily basis. And plus there's going to be, of course, it's going to be just the kind of like the sustainability for the future of future projects that's going to be built out. Coach RH, tweeted 10 minutes ago. Coach RH tweeted 10 minutes ago. Actually, hold on. Let's read this real quick.
I'll take this.
Let's see what RH tweeted. Yeah, he's kind of like talking about like the supply has been down so much. Do you know how much the X supply has been going down, guys? People are so silly. Do you know how much PGC's burnt supply? How much Pulse X burnt supply? How much Pulse burnt supply? How much UFO burnt supply? Why would you want to look at anything else on the chain than us? What a concept. What a concept. No expectation from the work of others. But anyways, Kong, you want to kind of go over the sniper in Dex? I'm going to call it the Dex sniper bats with possible limit orders coming in. All right, man. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we'll say like there'll probably be new features coming in, like all that. It's gonna be a slow rollout. So, kind of the point is like the goal of everything is to be optimized as fully as possible. So yeah, I was actually just doing some swaps here, but check it out. So essentially, all it is your regular old swap interface, right? Nothing new over on this side, but what is kind of the new sort of add-ons, and I'll explain it in like sort of parts here, is like, first of all, you can see the gas, and then you guys can obviously see the chart here as well. You can also set the slippage, and my understanding is PulseX interface is a UI limitation of 49% slippage. So when you're sniping tokens, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you've sniped tokens before, I've had experience of like, we've seen it go up 2x in the first like not even second, right? So if you're using 48% slippage and using PulseX, you're kind of already pricing yourself out of like any of the volatility that's happening, right? So this toggle does let you go all the way up to 99% slippage, and it will let you swap up to 99% slippage as well, with no problem. As well as you can, in the settings here, you can adjust that slippage tolerance, and you can also, this is another really top tier feature that I'm sure I don't know if other swap interfaces have this, especially on Pulsechain, but you're able to set your gas buffer as a multiplier. So effectively, how this website works, it's already highly gas optimized. So you can see like the current market beat here. When you submit a transaction, it's already going to use more than the current market beat. Keep in mind that you're only going to spend what you use in terms of the gas, but it will set a higher limit, so the nodes and the validators are incentivized to pick up your transaction relative to someone else, right? So it has the live gas price. You're able to set that multiplier on it, and like I said, it's kind of like a multiplier on a multiplier. It's default at 3x, which even for everyday use, like I've had transactions like almost fill instantly. Like even on Pulsechain, like I've had some of these transactions confirmed like instantly. It's been pretty nice. But yeah, if you set that gas buffer super high and that slippage super high, like I think you are already at an advantage versus just using plain out PulseX, and that's not even including any of the other features on this site. Like you guys can see the chart here and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of like the overall basis of the swap interface, and all it is like just a contract that interacts with PulseX, right? So you'll get like the same quotes you get on PulseX. You'll be able to swap. You can swap any token for any token, right? And then here's another cool feature. So if I have UFO swapping to X, you can see it does quote me the route here. and it will also identify any tax tokens. And let's say I had the slippage set too low and I refresh this quote, it would automatically reset the slippage to a satisfactory level. Assuming that this is like an everyday transaction, I do recommend though, if you're like really sniping like competitively, you do probably want to use a higher slippage than like whatever the default is on the site. But the point is like the default on the site, if you're swapping a everyday tax token, you're not going to run into those issues on PulseX where it has an error here, an error there, and then you have to change the slippage, and then your transaction's pending. A lot of that will be cleared out here, and you'll get pretty much the exact same PulseX prices, right? You're interacting with the same PulseX pools, the same PulseX prices. It's all the same thing. So yeah. Also, I'll add here is like if I input like hex, for example, like let's do hex to PLS. You can see the chart populates automatically. So there's like no worries on that sort of front. I think there was some new token launches coming out even recently on Pulsechain. So as soon as the DEX pair is created, you'll see the router quote pop up, and then you'll also see the chart pop up as well on the website. So I'll say that if you're like if like there's a launch coming and you have the contract address, if you leave it in the site, like you pretty much you almost don't even have to leave the site as well, because I will say there's also this is another feature. I'm trying to speed run this as quickly as possible as well, but the new pools, you'll also be able to see like any of the new pools coming out on PulseX, and it'll also include things like the total US dollar values for like the different coins and for the pools and stuff. So yeah, if there's anything like, I don't know, this pool has like $2,000 in it. Don't know if it's a good coin. I don't recommend buying it or not, but I mean, you can also see here that's like the total equivalent amount of PLS in terms of like that pooled total value. But yeah, if you like, this is kind of good for if you're just trying to like snipe any sort of new launch, or even if you're doing like a new onboard, let's say, and you're trying to get them into, let's go into UFO, right? They won't have to change any of the settings to be able to make a swap. They'll just be able to like use the default, hit the swap, and as long as they have enough funds to pay for like the gas fees, then no problems there, right? So that's pretty much all it is. I think maybe the last thing I'll touch on is like we have the quick snipe here as well, where if you have a contract, you just import it in here. You can either click the 1 million pulse button or just click enter on your keyboard, and it'll automatically import the contract address into the swap interface. But yeah, it's the same old, like all of you guys have seen a swap interface before. It's nothing new in that sort of sense, but it is just highly optimized, and then also trying to bring everything in one place, so you don't have to grab the contract and then check the gas on whatever website and then check the PDGC chart on the other website, whatever DEX screener. So this, yeah, it's pretty much centralizes everything. I will say it's, like I said, I think it's a work in progress. It's still in I'll say kind of like beta mode. It's fully working, fully live in production and everything like that. But I will say there's probably going to be maybe new features or even new optimizations added into the future. So.
And another thing, why it's still in beta mode and we're not really kind of promoting all that kind of stuff, is we want a product that kind of has a little bit more of a battle tested, and then we try to get it picture perfect. Well, it's not going to be perfect, of course, but we're going to try to strive for that success. Another reason why we started doing this, and actually Kong just wanted to start, had this idea many months ago, and honestly we should have actually started to build this out months ago, than worrying about other things in the ecosystem. But real quick, how do I join? A lot of the information is down below in Coach X, or the description on the YouTube of Coach X. So it's right there, the Alliance X. But we're going to be putting all that kind of information on X protocol itself, and we're going to be we're just getting ready for the bull market. And another thing for people to understand what this exactly is it's the same thing on Solana, like X bull, or what's the other one what's the other one that it's called? I don't know, but it's like, once we start getting green candles, once we start getting or going over this FUD, once actually Ethereum starts moving up, and we start moving to the right direction, and start getting people to onboard over here to Pulsechain, because guess what? There's no more pump dot fun over there on Solana. You know, there's something on Avalanche, but one of the things on Avalanche that in terms of like their pump dot fun or pump dot tires is they're not buying burning Avalanche. All the fees go to the team. So it's like, it's the same thing that's going on what happened with pump dot fun, but instead pump dot tires is buying and burning polls, and then once they actually get migrated to V1, it's going to be buy and burning Pulse X for the rest of their lives. What a concept. That buy and burn, it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, man. Just drain the soy latte drinkers. But yeah, guys. Kong, what are some of the things that we're going to try to incorporate with this directly? Like with like limit orders and all that kind of stuff.
I think my mic was muted there.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's potentially gonna be limit orders on the way. We even have some things, or I don't know if we should say, but I will say even right off the bat right now, it acts as also a let's call it a more privacy swap in a sort of sense. Like if someone really wants to stock a wallet or your wallet or any sort of wallet, I mean anyone can. It's a blockchain. But what I will also say is that if someone has eyes on your specific wallet and is watching for when you're doing like certain trades through PulseX, this can, like, depending on how their automation's set up and depending on if they, update their program to pick up on this sort of thing, just right off the bat, like if you use this, like it's gonna be more privacy focused. You're gonna be a little bit more undetected on chain. So I will say that as well. There might be more kind of privacy features coming to this as well, but I'll kind of leave it at that. So
yeah, so basically, guys, when everybody else is bitching and moaning, what a concept, we are grinding our ass off for the people of Pulsechain, for the development of Pulsechain, for the potential user base to Pulsechain. And like I've been from the beginning of Pulsechain, and being a voice of reason, a voice of grinding and actually looking at the blockchain, or developing help developing the PDI community, help developing the Tropa community. And a lot of people forget all that kind of stuff. Guess what? I helped to build that. I'm one of the best community builders, I gotta say. And like, when it comes to PWC, I helped build that. And then when you start thinking about like, what kind of potential do we actually want for ourselves here on Pulsechain? And it's like, you need to stop listening to like the people. It's like, that's the thing. You need to stop listening to people that are not going to have good intentions for your future. And the people that have been just advocating, talking, grinding, with, it's like, this is the thing. If you don't like me, cool. If you don't like how I talk, cool. You don't like how I act, cool. Because at the end of the day, too, it's like, it's not like a persona. It's not like I'm kind of acting, because am I like this in like real life? Sometimes, but I'm more like, if anybody's part of the alliance and listen to any kind of VC or voice call or interaction with me in a private setting, it's like you will understand like what type of person I am for like just I don't know what I feel so heartedly when it comes to Pulsechain, without like going into emotions, going into all this. It's just like I know what we need to do for the people in the future, people that want to be onboarded to this ecosystem. And that is going to be the potential of what we are going to be like maximizing for the future. And now, Kong, do you want to go through the balancer? Because this is another thing that we wanted to build for the people, and just kind of break it down. Like, how does like this kind of like BlackRock and Fidelity and Vanguard actually incorporates this same kind of measures when it comes to their stock portfolios or crypto portfolios, possibly. And how did we actually go from manually making this happen to a system that automatically makes it happen?
It's a good question. I'll share you guys. This is soon. This will be on the front page of the site. So I guess if you're watching the stream right here, right now, you get kind of the early look, kind of the early access in that sort of sense. If you do even want to try it out for yourself, it should be working. It does work. It works for me and everything like that. So if you want to go to the URL, it's tokentrader.win/v2. And then the sniper swap is tokentrader.win/sniper swap. But the balancer here is on the V2 page. And essentially all it is a portfolio rebalancer, right? So right here, you can see like I have my, as soon as you connect the wallet. So if I like disconnect here, like let's reconnect the wallet, it'll essentially import your tokens, and you can see it importing my tokens down here. So it's fetching all your tokens from like your portfolio or whatever, and it's automatically importing them into the website and everything like that. Let me do another little refresh there. But yeah, you can also, what you could do here is adjust your target allocation. So you can see your current percents, right? But I mean, right here, I can just adjust the target. So if I want to have a little bit less PLS, let me have like some more UFO here. Let me add some more surf, right? Let me do some more X protocol. Let me just finish it off with X protocol, right? And let's say this is what I want my portfolio to effectively look like. What this balancer will do is, you can see the trades here. It'll essentially sell 3 cents of DAI, buy 12 cents of X. And if you had bigger bags, of course, it would be with like, bigger numbers relative to your portfolio and everything like that. But what you could actually do is click this rebalance batch swap button, and it'll submit all of the rebalance transactions. Like, you do the approvals like you're like on PulseX, like how you have to approve the tokens and everything like that. You would do that exact same thing here. And then as soon as you click like rebalance batch swap, it would be able to essentially confirm all of these transactions all in one gas fee. And you'd be able to essentially rebalance your portfolio in one click. So once you have all your approvals set up, and all of these target percents will all save as well for you. So if I let me refresh the site here, and it's just going to import my wallet. You can see it happening down here. But yeah, you can see it saved all my target percents. It's also, you can see here, it's fetching all the taxes for all of the tokens. So if there's any fees or any taxes on any of the tokens, it'll automatically detect that and automatically kind of route the order kind of with that. So you don't have to worry about like slippage or anything. Like, it's already fully optimized for you to like execute transactions and do everything like that. But even here, like if I wanted to go, like let's say I want to go all into PLS, I would just have to make sure, like right here, you can see the total target, and also up here, you can see the total target, right?
Kong, real quick, can I sell dollar or money of all my coins or percent?
You definitely can. It'll buy, this will buy or sell all your coins accordingly. And then if you were planning to just do like one token swap, you can even do it on the sniper swap. So like I said, tokentrader.win/sniper swap. and you can swap any token for any token on there. But if you are planning to sell, like, let's say 10 tokens into PLS, you can do that here as well. So you don't have to go into like, yeah, you wouldn't have to go into PulseX and like, submit 10 different transactions and pay 10 different gas fees and do that 10 different times. You could actually, yeah, you could do that all in once right here. So I guess that could be another little feature, is even like a portfolio cleanup, because I think this will also detect things in your wallet. So if you did want to like kind of move things over into PLS, like that's what we'll do here. So see, like, our target allocation, of course, needs to equal 100%. Your portfolio can't equal over like 100, of course. So boom, once I set it to 100, you can see the rebalance button kind of opens up for me. And then essentially it would execute all of these trades. It would buy a little bit of X, buy the rest in PLS, and then sell the rest of these tokens that I have here. And then, yeah, essentially, as well as like if the swap amount is too small, like it's like if it's like under a penny, it's not going to do the trade. But I've seen this happen. It's super cool. Like when you do the rebalance, and my wallet's disconnected right now. Otherwise I would do the rebalance on stream. But when you do rebalance, it's quite cool because you'll see like when your portfolio refreshes, everything's like perfectly rebalanced, right? Just like maybe I will say maybe it's like maybe the PLS will be like a penny off, depending on like if you have a lot of PLS, and the gas fees isn't going to make a big deal. But if you have, like, here I have 13,000 PLS, right? The gas fees is going to cost a little bit there. So that'll be the only thing. But other than that, it's going to be perfectly balanced, probably better than what you could do like manually if you were to actually go ahead and try and balance yourself. But I'll show you guys like where it kind of came from. So this is the portfolio balancer. This is kind of the old one that is more kind of manual, and kind of you have to, you can import your wallet, right? But if you want to, you can also import your tokens manually here as well. But yeah, this is kind of where it came from. And then this has no like real like smart contract abilities or real like batch swap features. So yeah, like I said, this is probably going to be taken down from the site. And you guys can also kind of get a sense of like the progression of like, this is the old version of like, it's just the kind of the framework. And then this is, the V2 here would be the new version 2, which I think is a lot cleaner, and also has the batch swap functionality here for you to do essentially all of the balances kind of automatically in one click, right? So yeah, this is, I'll say it's as simple as it can be. And if you do want to like come on here and just do some balances, and I kind of explained to people that I treat this as like a buy and hold strategy. So for example, like, and maybe this is like a little bit off topic, and maybe this is what I'll do real quick, just as, yeah, how can we ensure that if we connect to the website, the contract won't empty the wallet? That's a good question. What you could do is, and this is what I would do, go create a new wallet, or it doesn't have to be brand new Trezor or anything like that, but create a new like little MetaMask wallet, put in 10,000 PLS in there, test out to see if the contract drains your funds, and then if it does what it says it's going to do, I've been in the community for a very long time. Like I'm not here to drain anyone's wallet type of thing, and the way that I make money off of this is there is a fee on the contract. So like if you do see like a fee taken, like that's all it is. So in that sort of sense, like I would always make sure too, if you're testing and connecting to new sites, like always like get a new wallet, fund it with a little bit of PLS, test it, see if it does what it says it's going to do. And then what I also say as well is like, you don't have to go into your main portfolio and connect it to the site and then do all of that. You can send a little bit of tokens away, do the swap there, and then as like, let's say it works, then you can send the token back to your main wallet, right? No issues. So those are a few options as well.
Well, let me just or kind of like echo and kind of like repeat what you just said. Like with like this is another thing part of the alliance what we kind of like coach and teach and what I kind of like or kind of like go over a lot. It's like whenever you are go or you should not like you should have different wallets that have different purposes. So like if you have your long-term mindset wallet, you should not probably be connecting to basically anything, any kind of protocol, any kind of like website, any kind of let's see, like if somebody sends you a DM or somebody sends you a DM on Telegram or somebody creates a bullshit X account, you should never, ever, ever, ever connect your wallet. You will get fucked. You will get fucked. But anyways, like another thing, like say we've had this balancer for about 3-4 months now, Kong, right? But everything was
So
like
the balancer started in a spreadsheet like a year
yeah,
ago, and then
yeah,
on
like
the
a year
website it's
ago.
been out for 5 months. Yeah.
Yeah, for like 5 months. And one of the things that like I've been talking about for at least like 4 months of it, I've been using this balancer feature, and I made 3 separate wallets. Okay, I have a wallet that I balance every single day. So I have, or I'm not going to go over all the information that you have to join the alliance if you want to know the cool things that I coach and teach. Be a part of the community. Anyways, but like there's a wallet that I rebalance on a daily basis. There's a separate wallet, brand new wallet that I started balancing on a weekly basis. And then I have a wallet that rebalance on a monthly basis. And now I'm gonna have another wallet that's gonna rebalance whenever I feel that we're at, I don't know, at a high level when it comes to Ethereum. So not even Pulsechain, but if I feel that there's going to be some kind of I don't know, pullback or consolidation when it comes to Ethereum, I'm going to be rebalancing my portfolio on those measures. And then if I feel like it's going to be there's going to be an uptick in the market, I'm going to, or that's another way where I like rebalance my portfolio for the right percentages that I want. And there's a lot to break down and go over. And maybe on Monday morning on our VC call, I think we should. I'm gonna go over the percentages of like I don't know. Should I do that? Actually, no. I'm gonna go over it again, and then you'll get the bigger picture about like what like could be possible in the future. You know, it's just like it takes out emotions. It takes out like uh, your opinions of whatever entity, and it kind of like focuses on um, what do like big corporations, what do big hedge funds, and honestly, you can actually incorporate this in your stocks portfolio, in like with Ethereum or with Polygon or with all these different um, layer ones here in this wonderful, beautiful world that we live in.
Also, I will do a demo here if
Go for it.
I just connected the wallet while you were sharing. So yeah, I can do a demo here real quick. Like I'm just gonna do it with I'll do it with 3 tokens here. So I changed around the allocations a little bit, and right here I reduced down the PLS so it would sell down PLS.
Real quick, let me answer this question. Do we have this for free in the lines? So currently, right now, we're like the same thing when it comes to the Sniper Dex tool interface. We're doing the beta, doing the testing, all that kind of stuff. So the balancer is also it's free and all that kind of stuff. But right now it is strictly with the alliance. It will transition to X protocol where anybody can use it. And of course, like what we kind of talked about, of course, there's going to be some kind of fee and upkeep and development and growth and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So yeah, yeah, and what I will say as well is it should, I don't know, it should be pretty cool. And like what this site is right now, and I think this is worth mentioning, is like everything you see here in the nav, like maybe within the next week or two, like if you come back to the site, you're going to see it updated with all of kind of the new stuff. But yeah, like a lot of this stuff is like kind of free, so to speak, like or it's going to be kind of for the public. But things like looking at PDGCs, you know, more for the Empire. But here I'll do the rebalance here. So went over the allocations. Like here, I'm going to buy a little bit more X and also buy a little bit more stable coins. And if I click the rebalance button here, you just got to make sure that, you know, you confirm this is what you want to do. You can also set your slippage if you do want to set your slippage. Yeah, and if especially, I guess if you are swapping a larger bag, you probably do want to set your slippage a little bit. But if you have tax tokens in there, maybe I wouldn't play around with it so much. So that's one thing I will say as well. The PLS here, you can see sell, buy X, buy die. I would hit just confirm. And then in the bottom, you can see it just going through some checks here, checking for the gas, checking for my approvals, checking for all that stuff. You guys can't see it, but I can see the MetaMask notification pops up. And then I'm just going to confirm the transaction. I have a device connected here, so I'm going to just confirm the swap there. And then now you can see transaction sent, waiting for confirmation. And I think the blockchain will take about 10 seconds or whatever. There we go. You can see it went through, event logged, complete. And then what I would do as well is just refresh your portfolio after you did the rebalancing. And you guys saw like rebalancing complete, supported, direct PLS, you know, imported all your tokens. And take a look at this. What a concept. You can see I'm holding, rewatch the stream if you weren't paying attention. I was holding legitimately 0 DAI. And now I'm holding 4 cents worth of DAI, which is exactly 7%, which is exactly the amount I set here. What a concept, right? If you paid attention before, I was holding 0.223x, I believe. It was like essentially 0.2x. Now I'm holding 0.37. I set 17%, and I ended up with 17.2%. So within, you know, very like, I did balancing like hundreds of times. Like this is more accurate than what you could get probably just like as a human swapping and everything like that. And then the PLS here, you can see 39% versus 42. And this is because of, like I was saying, the gas fee. I probably paid like 1,000 PLS there, which if I didn't pay the gas fee, then we'd be perfectly rebalanced, right? And that is just because I have like I only have 10,000 PLS in this wallet. So it's just a test wallet in that sort of sense. But yeah, it didn't drain my wallet. You guys can see like all my tokens are still right here. And we are perfectly rebalanced. And this is like, you know, this is just live on the site right now. So if you guys do want to check it out, like you saw it working here. And maybe we'll do a quick demo with the sniper swap if you want to as well, coach. But yeah, so tokentrader.win/sniper swap.
Well, before we do that, let me show like what kind of the Empire X actually has for everybody. So let me do that real quick. No, why am I clicking that? Before we give just like all that kind of cool stuff. Perfect. So basically this is the Empire X and all the kind of different things that is incorporated with everything. So so we have a lot of known deployer contracts and LP alerts. So all that information, and you can see all that kind of stuff coming out, and get notified right away. New liquidity by PAP or wallet, blah blah blah, and then pump tire new tokens. So like the thing I was kind of talking about when there's new tokens getting launched. So like, of course, hopefully everybody's not like looking at the contracts and all that kind of stuff, but and aping in non-financial advice. But looking at this, they launched this, that all whenever it's a red sign or red, it means it didn't get migrated to Pulsechain. So all that information comes about. So like, as you can see, like right here, there was this token launched by a wallet, and it says funded, or all these wallets were funded by this. And there was 1, 2, 3 that didn't get kind of like migrated to Pulse X, but this one did. This one did. So just it provides a lot of good information, especially for those meme tokens. So remember, it's a casino over there, and these are just like tools that are going to be provided for the people to actually accomplish basically not getting fucked by shitty people. Now here's another whale new contract and LP alert. So we have a lot of different kind of whales that like launch contracts and all that kind of stuff, and gives pretty good information right there. And then also like here's another thing. Let me see. So like if you wanted to go into like all this, you can go to the Dex screener, Dex tools. You can actually go straight to pump.fun. And then also not with that. Let me see. Like right here. So there's like this new liquidity detected, blah, blah, blah. Of course, don't like, if you see the CA, whatever, don't like ape. But down here, as you can see right here, it says buy gate or gape with secret sniper bot. So it just takes you straight to the bot, and then it's just very fast. And then you put what kind of gas that you want to implement and all that kind of stuff. Plus it has like a general chat where everybody can like communicate, talk. And it's, like I said, like when it comes to the Alliance and the Empire, it's not like I don't really like those, like, of course there's like the private groups where public groups where there's a lot of shit talking. There's a lot of I don't know, just a lot of bullshit going on. And the Alliance and Empire X, I try to keep the most like country club type of feeling, because that's what we're here for, or that's why we're here. You know, we're all here to try to make money and better our lives, better our families' lives, better our friends' lives, and doing it in a environment with positive energy, good mindsets, good intentions, and knowing that, like, of course, there's going to be snakes in the grass, but guess what? All the snakes reveal themselves at one point in time. And like I said, it's not like the Alliance, we like fucking like shill like all these shit tokens. But like when, like, if I do, like, there's another thing. If I give like alpha on a token or all that kind of stuff, I've been 10 for 10. And the X's amounts that I don't know, we have I don't know, have shield has been a great success for the people that actually, I don't know, got into it quickly. But like I was trying to kind of like talk about, like, it's not a place where we want to get everybody fucked over, and it's not going to be those things, because guess what, we have the tools to actually see if you're giving us bullshit information or not. So yeah, it's going to be and like another thing too, it's like, what are we trying to, or what is Coach X, what is Kong, what is Spy's intentions for the future? And, you know, like when it comes to like Ethereum, when it comes to Solana, when it comes to Polygon, when it comes to I don't know, any kind of layer one, there's always these like different community of like groups, publicly and privately, that try to give out tools to help out the average user. And then like once the people from Sol or Ethereum start seeing the green candles when it comes to Pulsechain, PHEX, EHEX, PTGC, UFO, and want to find the best alpha like group or places to actually get the best like bots and contracts, and in terms of X protocol, where we have like the DEX tools and the DEX tools and the trading interface in one group, so you don't have to toggle along, because the people in Solana, they're used to like Xbull, they're used to those type of tools to actually trade these the pump dot tires and all these shit tokens that get launched over there, So once like it's like, I'm just going to specify again, the reasons why we're grinding, the reasons why we're building so diligently for the future is because of that reason. It's like once these guys come over the bridge, once these guys get their way to Pulsechain, of course they're going to try to find the right community of people that are trying to like uplift as many people as possible. So sorry, Kong. You know how I get sidetracked and how passionate I am about like what we're trying to do for it's like what we're trying to do for the bigger picture here on Pulsechain. So go for it. Kind of like talk about giving this little thing.
But yeah, I think what you said was good. I think people need to hear it, and they need to hear it they need to hear it over and over and over still, even like even if they feel like they've heard enough. So here, I'll do the demo for the sniper swap here. I'm gonna swap some PLS into X here. So we are on the Coach X crypto channel. You can see my MetaMask notification pops up. I don't know if you can see it on stream, but it's there. I do have a device connected, and it did disconnect here again. I do not. Yeah, this is that's always good to show your pin code on stream. But there we go. And then yeah, this thing like I said, it will work for you. It'll work for you great. And if you have like, that's the thing, if you have any sort of like feature ideas or like suggestions or anything like that, you'll see when you go into this website, there's a Telegram group, and the Telegram group is tokentrader.win. Join the Telegram group and either at me at CryptoKong145, or just write a message in there, and you can feature request anything, or if you want to PM me or anything like that. But yeah, you can see right here the transaction confirmed. We got the little pop-up here letting us know we're all good. And then if you guys weren't paying attention, we had like 0.03, forget what the number was, but it was like 0.03 something X. Now we have 0.046, and our PLS balance also changed. So yeah, we have the X token in our wallet. Like, we're safe to send it away anywhere we want it, like anywhere we want to. And we've like, in a way, successfully kind of sniped it. So yeah, for what it's worth, like this thing, like I said, if you're setting the slippage 99%, and the thing about setting the slippage 99% is it doesn't mean that you're going to get that price. It just means that that's like, if you end up getting that price, you're okay with it. That's basically just what it means. And same thing with the gas limit, right? If you set 120x and the transaction costs $5 in MetaMask, you're not like, you'll have to have the $5 in your MetaMask to sign, but you'll only spend the gas that you actually use. So keep that in mind in terms of like the slippage, and the gas is like, you'll only slip the price as much as the price needs to, like, as much as there's volatility. And same thing with the gas, is you'll only spend as much gas as you use, even if you set a super high limit. And the higher limit you set, I mean, by definition, the more incentivized the nodes are and validators are to pick up your transaction, right? And like, I'll do a quick kind of thought experiment here, just for just for what it's worth. But we'll do it with X here, for example. But PulseX UI is limited to about like 50% slippage, right? So if we were to apply that here and the quote 88, essentially our PulseX slippage would minimize us to receiving 44 tokens. With our interface, we could receive up to like, I think it's 8.8 tokens or something like that, or like maybe even less than that. It might even be like, what is it? Might even be like 0.8 tokens, which, I mean, like I said, is you're not going to get filled at that price if there's a better price available, but it just adds that sort of buffer, I will say, of like, if the token, I mean, as long as the token's not doing 100x on launch, the slippage tolerance shouldn't be an issue in terms of you getting in. And then, like I said, if you put 100x on the gas buffer, then you should have a good time getting into the token. But yeah, you guys saw I swapped with X there. Maybe we'll do one more here. We'll give Hex a little swap. Only give Hex 100 PLS, but hit the swap here. The MetaMask notification popped up. It's actually quoting me $3.30 for gas, and that's because I set the limit to 120x. So I'm gonna lower it back down to about like, I'll lower it back down to 3.8 times so we can get like a little bit speedier transaction on the stream. Here we go. MetaMask notification popped up. 4 cents for the fee. I'm just going to confirm it. You guys can see the notification there. Just signing. And we're just going to sit and wait. Within like, I don't know, 10 seconds, we should get that confirmed. You guys can see how much Hex we're holding in our wallet right now. And now you can see how much Hex we're holding in our wallet. It just went up. And boom, transaction confirmed, right? So again, I just bought some Hex. It's in my wallet. I could sell it right now if I wanted to. I could also send it away into another wallet if I wanted to like secure it in like a cold wallet or a Trezor or anything like that. But yeah, you guys saw it in action here. So remember, like, still not like fully public, I'll say. You'll likely see some, even this whole site kind of revamped and stuff. But this page, like, you'll likely see maybe some cool updates and stuff. But yeah, tokentrader.win/sniper swap, and you guys can check it out for yourselves. So, and I will say maybe the last thing on this is like, even for everyday swaps, you should have less of a headache using this than PulseX. If all you want to do is like, let's say you want to swap a tax token, or you want to swap even any token for that matter, you will probably have like less of a headache, faster transaction, easier time doing like your everyday swap than PulseX. Although like, you know, like you use PulseX, but yeah, I definitely think for sniping, like this is an advantage in every way. So yeah.
And then some of the things that I've been thinking about too, like in the future. So like, of course, doing like a limit orders, and then some of the other cool things that like we've been talking about too is like, you know, like on this is going to be, of course, a little bit later down the road, and depending on how much like use case and people utilize it, and then of course like the volume level when it comes to the pump dot tires, or how the like the I don't know, the volatility of Hex or P Hex or PulseX comes out in the future, is like, you know, how you can like, in terms of limit orders, like you like, I don't, let's just say that you got into a position. So instead of like over here, like right below, and putting in exactly what kind of like, I don't know, what you want to like exit out or have a stop loss or something like that. But like on the like the DEX tools, or the where the chart actually shows, actually doing those like type of lines. So like it shows where you bought, and then you can actually put the line in where you want your stop loss, just in case that your trade or what you, or yeah, if your trade goes to this level, it just executes that trade for you. Or on the other way around, let's just say that you went to bed and you're looking at the chart and you are, I don't know, um, not really, I was going to say gambling, but you're predicting uh, Pulsex to go to a certain price, and you're sleeping, and it hits that like line, or that not limit order, but what's the word, Kong? I'm trying to think. It's the other, not a stop loss. Not a stop loss, but like once you want to exit a trade.
Take profit, stop loss would be.
Yeah, take profits. Let's just say that. So like those type of things. And then like, of course, like other features and other, like, this is the thing too. Like a lot of people just don't understand. A lot of people just don't really understand my mindset and how passionate I am about building and helping growing this community. It's not just growing the community of PGC, or growing the community of Hex, or growing the community of UFO, or growing the community of X protocol, or growing the community of I don't know, any other community that is built here on Pulsechain. It's like, when you really think about 2 or 3, 4, 6, 10, 15 years down the line, it's like the potential, or it could be like endless possibilities. And when it comes to like X and the ecosystem, or PGC in the ecosystem, it's like, what do you think I'm like in my mind on a daily basis? Late nights, early mornings, what am I thinking about? What am I like trying to deliver for not just myself? Of course, like a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, gosh, you're just very, very, very just. You're just all. This is just you. You're just doing this for yourself and your prosperity, your glory, blah blah blah." It's just like, no. Like, yes, do I want to provide a beautiful future for my family and my the people that believe in me, and the people that um, stood by me when I was going through my lowest points, and then knowing that there's going to be a great, beautiful future if we keep on just having that mindset and energy to like create the best community of individuals that want to achieve the same kind of goals that we want to achieve. Like we're here on Pulsechain, we're here of Hex because of the teachings of Richard Hart that he has prescribed for us, that we're trying to change our lives from the government's propaganda from when we are very, very little, and changing the livelihoods from of money from government to ourselves, and becoming our own bank, and becoming our own prosperity, and becoming our own like future of like delaying gratification when it, of course, when it comes to Hex, delaying gratification when it comes to PGC. Like, this is the thing about sorry, Kong, I'm gonna go on a little rant right now. But like, when you really think about it and you really break down what could be possible when it comes to PGC, and when you really break down what could be the possibilities of UFO, I'm gonna leave X out of it for right now, okay? But think about those two protocols. When it comes to how much burnt liquidity of PGC right now, I think it's over 3.5 million. at these lows of Pulsechain. So now let's just put the hypothetical thought process of possibilities in the future. So imagine Pulsechain going up 100x. I want everybody to imagine it. Okay. Do I say it's going to go? Maybe. Will it not? Maybe. You never know. But once you start thinking about those implications, how big are those liquidity pools of Pulse, of PulseX, of PHEX, of EHEX, of Inc? And I'm even going to throw like the greatest moon bag of all time, PDI. Like if PDI goes, just like everybody knows my opinion. I've talked about this in the past about PDI. Like if it goes to $1, imagine how much liquidity is tied to PTGC. And a lot of people out there, they're like, oh, you pulled the liquidity. No, brothers and sisters, guess what? That liquidity is burnt. Liquidity with Atropa, burnt. The liquidity with Teddy Bear, burnt. You're welcome. You're welcome. I gave the world's greatest moon bag. I gave the world's greatest moon bag, you know? So it's like, if those things actually come into play, imagine how much volume is going to be happening with the ARBs, because 80% of the volume of PGC and UFO currently is ARB bots. So like the daily buy and burns, the daily adding to the V1 Pulse PGC liquidity pool, the daily 2% DAO of Pulse. And when you really think about it, like, like all these countries and corporations doing Bitcoin strategic reserves or Ethereum strategic reserves, PTGC has that Pulsechain strategic reserve. And on a daily basis, that keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing. So everybody like thinking and being all emotional currently right now, listening to individuals that don't even have a clue what's going on the chain, and downplays the SEC getting beat. It wasn't dismissed. Oh, SEC, we're going to dismiss Richard Hart. No, the judge said, SEC, you lost. You lost. So it's like, once you understand those potential numbers of just the liquidity pools alone and how much volume actually will go through on a daily basis, people really do not grasp and imagine what is going to be happening. Like they're just stuck with a framework of not really going through a lot of like cycles. So like hold on, I need to blow my nose real quick because I have to freaking sneeze and stuff. Kong, you want to kind of like elaborate or talk about like those things when it comes to PGC and UFO? Maybe talk about UFO a little bit.
Yeah, I can talk about UFO, but I don't know. What I will say is that like I look at charts, right? And I talk about this a lot in the Alliance, and a lot of the Alliance people know even how I look at things, and how kind of analyze the market in that sort of sense. But there's clear winners, right? And there's always clear winners in every market, right? Even if you look at the overall crypto market, like Bitcoin, even you could say Ethereum's kind of the clear winner in that sort of sense. On Pulsechain, there's going to be clear winners, right? Whether it's the cores and whatever alts, but whatever alts, like you're going to have the clear winners, right? The clear winners. Of course, there's going to be the tokens that are shiny objects that appear for, I don't know, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe if they last that long. But typically, like, we haven't seen anything on Pulsechain do what PTGC has done over the time frame that PDGC has done it. Same thing with X, right? A lot of people I think faded X, right? A lot of people I think faded X. And then you take a look at the performance of it, which is what actually matters, right? I think we're all here, and this is also what Richard preached as well, was price performance, right? We're all here for price performance. When X launched, everything on Pulsechain was down, right? Everything was not doing too hot. It launched quite at like going into the lows of the market, right? And then when everything turned around, X not only outperformed the lows of the market, but also outperformed going into the highs of the market, right? So this is like what we're going to be like. This is what I take a look at on Pulsechain, right? We have a ton of data as well supporting this, like surrounding even like say like things like holder counts, things like liquidity, things like volumes, things like transactions, like that all support the fact that like PDGC and UFO are the clear winners on Pulsechain in terms like the top performing and the top almost like interacted with over the longest period amount of time protocols on Pulsechain, right? So like I said, there will probably be shiny objects, which is probably a good thing, right? I mean, maybe there's bad things that will come of it, right? And I'm not saying like shiny objects in terms of like a scam, right? But if there's a new project that comes out, some people can make some money on it, woohoo, and then to me, it looks like people were using PDGC as a store of value, right? It's pretty evident from the chart. Like taking a look at the cores, even that those things have gone down to the right for, I mean, it's been like over 2 years now, right? PDGC up and to the right. So what happens when Pulse is up and to the right? Is PDGC like how much is that outperformance actually going to be, right? So if we're all here for Pulsechain, I think it'd be silly to like count out PDGC in that sense.
Well,
So
let me just add a little bit like context to that kind of conversation, because there's a lot of people talking about PDI right now, you know, with some of the things that they've been finding on the blockchain, or I don't know, I think Maria, like, I don't know, streamed or something like that the other day. But it's like, when you think about that, you know, when it comes to the whole PDI narrative, you know, it's like what I said, it's like it's the greatest moonbag ever created when it comes to PDI, when it comes to Atropa, when it comes to Teddy Bear, when it comes to what other burnt liquidity, TSFI, down. And once you start imagining if PDI goes to $1, okay, let's just say that you bought whatever amount of PDI, okay. And so let's put our smart hats on, guys. So PDI guys, I love you guys. You know, I helped build the community over there. I did hundreds of hours of research, looking up everything. And you want to know something funny? You know, like the Spark Swap, the Spark Swap. What is it? The sub DAO that just launched their token about a week ago, that just went on like all the centralized exchanges and all that kind of stuff. And one of the developers, his name is like, it has Hex in his name. So one of the things that you imagine, and he was actually part of the MakerDAO team, you know, and if you actually read the MakerDAO end game all the way back into 2022 and what they're trying to do for DAI and the future of DAI, and trying to basically incorporate over $100 billion worth of assets backing the DAI ecosystem, or backing the DAI stablecoin. Which is, I just love throwing that out there, because I was with the individual that found that, and all that kind of stuff is coming out right now and whatever. But let me just get to the point. If you're holding like whatever amount of PDI in your wallet and it goes to $1, cool. But imagine holding, or like the same thing, let's just say you held on to PWC for an example, and PDI does go to $1. Guess what? You want to know like what you're getting more than just holding in your wallet. You're getting, if you're staking it, you're getting staking and holding rewards. What a concept! During that whole time, in the floor price of the PDI liquidity pool is raising the floor of PWC during the same thing. So getting that X amount to $1, that same kind of thing is happening with the liquidity pool of PTGC. And I don't even need to say or like deliver it in that kind of message. And once you understand those things, it gets to those. Let's just say PDI goes to $1, and imagine what you like. I don't know, put into PGC like right now or a week from now. Of course, it's not financial advice, but anyways, just smart helmet. Okay. Once it gets to that potential price point of PDI, and you think about it years from now in terms of PGC, you keep your principal, and then the rewards that you're going to be getting could be life-changing. So that's I don't know, food for thought for all the PDI guys showing it and all that kind of stuff, because there's been like, of course, like a lot of misinformation going around too. It's like some of the tweets that I read, it's like, the PTGC, they put the liquidity, and it's just like, no. But then I just have to like, I don't know, show them the 369 dead wallet, and it has, I don't know, 98% of the liquidity in that pool or in that address. So it's like, don't like, especially if you want the honey badger to come out again. And I know, I know Shaka doesn't want the honey badger, and I've been very, very good when it comes to that. But it's like, once you start like giving out those false information about PWC or UFO or our ecosystem, it's like, guess what? I have receipts. I know the inside and out of our ecosystem, and it's going to be like, the future is like, has any kind of opportunity. And if you really think about it too, like when I talk about like the Pulsechain strategic reserve, when it comes to PGC and the DAO, like think about this. Let's just say PDI goes to $1. In that liquidity pool, there's going to be possibly about 55 million to about 150 million dollars in that liquidity pool alone. So that's a stable coin. If it goes to $1 and stays there, of course. Not financial advice, any possibilities. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just know those things. And imagine how much volume when it comes to that downward pressure of the ecosystem. We already have that stable liquidity pool with that much amount of liquidity. So once you actually start thinking big picture, thinking about like, I don't know, outside box of what could be possible here on Pulsechain, and what Richard Hart is trying to deliver, it's like, would I rather hold PDI, or would I like, of course, if you want to speculate and all that kind of stuff, cool. But like, it's like, would I rather hold PDI in my wallet, not getting a yield, not getting APR, not getting all that kind of stuff, and then possibly once it goes to $1, then that's where I start buying my hex or whatever. But when you think about all those things, there's already going to be people holding Pulsex. There's already going to be people holding P-Hex. There's already going to be people holding E-Hex. There's already going to be people holding Pulse. There's already going to be people that are going to be holding any random tokens. So you're basically going to be like pumping their bags, and then you have to realize now you're trading your PDI in the future. Now you're like pumping their bags. Like, is it going to be great with a lot of volume and volatility and all that kind of stuff? And then you actually get to use the sniper bot with the DEX tools and do all that kind of stuff, stop losses and trade. Like, like any kind of possibilities. But I'm just giving you different outcomes of what is the reality of the future. And knowing all those things in a bigger like understanding, it's like the possibilities here in our ecosystem is beautiful. And that's why I just try to deliver as much positive energy now, like learning from my mistakes, learning from my past, and growing as an individual. You know, like one of the things that only a certain amount of people know, like what I've been like, or I'm not really going through, but like when Richard Hart said he's going to start doing this workout program, I started doing this, or I always did. Hold on. I always did like work out before and all that kind of stuff. But of course, when it came to like, I don't know, eating and going out with friends or just like whatever, I started working out. I started fasting. I started just eating the right things. Like majority of the days, I'm just eating steak and eggs. Steak and eggs, and I've only been drinking water. And this is the cool thing about that. I was 188 pounds. Okay. I was starting getting a dad bod. I'm starting to like doing all those things, but I was 188 pounds. But just from like the start of like what Richard Hart started doing, I'm like right now currently I'm like 174 pounds by just drinking water, by just fasting, and just eating the right meals. So like those are the things and outcomes. It's like once you start thinking about those type of like possibilities of like changing your habits, changing your different outlook of the future, knowing different kind of outcomes and predicting what you can realistically have a mindset that could just change not just your life, not just your children's life, but your children's down the line. And knowing that like providing value to not just yourself, but value to as many people as possible. And that's kind of like one of the things that I've been really manifesting, really praying about, to actually just help change my habits, change my outlook of what can I actually bring difference to like, of course, am I going to be, or is there people that dislike me? Yes. But to achieve greatness, there's always going to be those obstacles of people that want to see you fail, see you fall, and not get to the place where you are like in the right mindset for the future, you know? And like those people are like, I'm not going to say or exactly like quote this, but like those people are like kind of like the messengers of the devil, you know, at the end of the day. They're the like the individuals that like just want to like nitpick about certain qualities that you did in the past, But like, this is the thing, which is even with in crypto and in relationships with your friends, or anything with your family, or anything, the past is the past. The only way you can learn from your past is giving yourself a game plan, a framework, a mindset for the future. And when it comes to PGC, when it comes to UFO, when it comes to X and X protocol, like, I'm not thinking about tomorrow. I'm not thinking about a week from now. I'm not thinking about a month from now. I'm not thinking about a year from now. I'm not thinking about 5 years from now. I'm not thinking about 10 years from now. Because I have so much passion. I have so much drive. I've learned so many lessons. I've had so many great teachers. I have such a good network of individuals that surround me, and it's very small. And if you do any kind of wrong to me in any kind of way, guess what? See ya. Bye. In the crypto space and in life. Because when I really when we really break it down, and when you really understand, if you go, let me just say this: we have at some point in time, there's been 322 people listening on Twitter or on YouTube, and on Kick, because we're on Kick now too. But like, every single time you go onto a Twitter space, okay, or you listen to a streamer or an influencer on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Kick, or on Twitch, whenever you go into those environments and you're listening, and let's just say those individuals are spewing hate, they're spewing I don't know, just emotional trauma, or emotional, like, just hatred for Richard Hart, or even our ecosystem, our community, or being like, oh, I'm trying to save people. I'm trying to save people. I know I've been gone. It's like, once you start like listening to, you're adding that liquidity factor right there. And every single liquidity factor that you actually start adding when it comes to spaces, or when it comes to like liquidity pools, or when it comes to even like pump.tire tokens, once that token gets like migrated over to Pulsex, not every single one is going to last or be great. It's not going to provide so much value. So when you're listening to like individuals, like, I don't know, like, I've always preached about this. Listen to the right people that is going to uplift you, give you that good energy, give you that good mindset for the future. Because when you go into these spaces, of course, you can go into the spaces, just hear what he has to say, but don't get emotional about it. Because once you go into the space, you're adding that liquidity factor. And once you like really think about it, it's like, if you enter, like, you have a positive look about Pulsechain, you have a positive look about the ecosystem, and you have a positive look about everything going on, and you enter the space and you start getting emotional about it. And guess what? He's trying to drag you this, or people like that, or she's trying to drag you like this. If they're like giving you, like, I don't know, like I just said. So guess what? That's going to pull you down too. So, and then once you like leave that space, that stuff is still going through your mind. You're starting to think about that. And then the next day you kind of like go, or like you're still thinking about those same kind of things, negative thoughts, negative potential. And then it gets to a point where you get emotional about it and you want to change your game plan, change your strategies for the future. Does sometimes maybe those conversations need to be had? Of course. But the thing, or the people that you surround yourself with not like a positive energy outlook of what is built with our ecosystem and the foundation that is set, and knowing everything when it comes to the sacrifice. A lot of people don't understand that there was almost over $2 billion sacrificed for Pulse and PulseX. And then once you start thinking about those type of numbers, and then people are just like looking at the chart and people are like, whales are selling and all that kind of stuff. And then you start breaking it down. Like, of course, there's going to be some kind of sell pressure throughout these last 2 years, because a lot of these big time whales already are they're already in profit when it comes to like Hex and Pulse and PulseX. And then once you start like knowing those type of things that are occurring or happening, and like the mindset of like a founder or a builder for the future, it's like just like what Richard Hart like said. Sometimes you just have to shake out the tree, shake out the people. Just let the people that, I don't know, do not want to be a part of the community or part of what his like goals of Pulsechain are going to be. So it's just like, in terms of like PGC, guess what? I learned in or TG Zen and myself learned those same kind of qualities. And once you actually break it down and understand, like, to be a part of a very good ecosystem or an asset or a crypto, like if you go back and look at the chart of PGC, it went up a lot of X's and went down 70 to 80%, about three or four different occasions. During the same time, Pulsechain doing those same type of things. And then you think about like the amount of people that actually held 1% of the supply to the top point of, I think the first all-time high was, I don't know, was it 5 million or 6 million, something like that. There was about 45 to 50 holders that was holding 1% of the supply during that first run up, and then it moved down 80%. And then that, of course, people are taking profits, all that kind of stuff. And then the next, I think that went down to about 37 to about 34 like holders with 1%, went down. Okay. Then the next run up, because Pulsechain and PulseX and PHEX and EHEX and Inc. started running up. Hart's Law, what a concept. And then went to a, I think a price point of like, or market cap 12 to 13 million. Actually, no. That next movement up went to 38 million. So that was like January 8th of 2024 to March 8th of 2024. The high point of Ethereum, when Ethereum was starting to run. So once Ethereum starts to run, Pulsechain is going to run. And then Pulsechain, PulseX, PHEX, EHEX, Inc. all went down 80%. PTC did the same suit because of liquidity pools. Guess what? What a concept. But at the same time, it buys and burns. It's adding LP. And another thing, like when you really think about it, the amount of liquidity that we added during that pullback to PulseX, PHEX, EHEX, Inc. was a lot of money. And then the next run up of PTC to a $320 million market cap. And now, like as Pulse and PulseX and PHEX and EHEX and all the other liquidity pools, of course, Ethereum pulled back, guys, about 54%. So you gotta like put your big boy like pants on and really think about those things. Of course, Pulsechain went down a little bit further because why? I don't know, big whales selling or the Interpol thing. And then it's kind of funny and ironic. It's like at the bottom point of Pulse, I think it was like April 2nd, bottom point of Pulse. And I forget exactly the date factor, but to the upside of when Ethereum started running, I'm not going to pull up the chart. I don't feel like doing that right now, but started running, Ethereum only went up 60%. And then at that high point, during that same kind of time period, Pulsechain went up 116%. So with that kind of understanding in terms of leverage, in terms of like how much amount of liquidity that we actually have on the chain right now, because the incentive to add liquidity to get more incentive got reduced by a great amount, then you can actually imagine what could be going to be going on in the future. So like going back to Kong, I'm so sorry. I bet you're like, I'm making a sandwich and, you know, I have my popcorn.
I just mowing my lawn.
I love when Coach X go on these rants, but anyways, like during that time of January 8th to March 8th of 2024, Pulsechain had 15x the amount of liquidity that it has right now. When Ethereum went up 2.6 to 7x, Pulsechain went up, I believe 4.5 to about 5.2x over Ethereum. People really forget about those things. But with 15x the amount of liquidity that we actually have right now. So when it comes to math, when it comes to the ratios that we currently have, like imagine a world that Ethereum goes to 10,000. And I actually did a tweet. Let me see if I can find that tweet. Kong, we're just going to be going this whole day. We're just doing a full day stream. Sorry. But I'm just kidding. Maybe not. I bet you're like, gosh, I gotta go work out. I gotta develop this for X protocol. I'm just playing. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Perfect. Actually, hold on, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm really disappointed on that. Really disappointed. I just don't know what's going on. But anyways, sorry guys. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. All right. This is saying time to do some math with Pulse versus Ethereum ratio and what we can see for the future. We will be working with a couple numbers, so bear with me, okay? So here's the thread. So I did the ratios in the moon, or like, of course, it's called the Moon Boy math calculator, but in reality, it's just math. I like calling it coach's math. So once you start to understand those type of things, sorry, there we go. Things and outcomes of possibility numbers in the future. So Pulsechain 5x the ratio. If Pulsechain does a 5x ratio against Ethereum and Ethereum goes to $4,000, Pulse is going to be at a price point around 0.0019. So around 0.0011. So that's at 8.28x from here. So if you really think about it, so this is the ratio, the current ratio. And let me just go to the next one. And here is the final outlook of what could, or the possible outcome price point would be. So 8.2. So if it does not do a 5x, so let's just say it does a it just stays at the same ratio, doesn't move up or down, it would be at a price point of 4039, 1.6x. Okay. So, and this was done about 2 days ago. So if Pulsechain does a 5x, the ratio of ETH, and ETH goes to 10,000, okay, Pulsechain would be at the price around the price of 0.0049. So around, so why do I use the word around? So like if it does get to these numbers and it's like off by, I don't know, a couple cents or whatever, hopefully people just don't give or start like get emotional and like but anyways, around 0.004. So that's a 20.69x. So let's look at this. So it's the current ratio 99, the price point of Pulsechain currently, the price of ETH price currently. And then here is when it comes to, or yeah, the final Pulse price 0.0049, 20.69x potential. So like it's the same thing. If Pulsechain does not move the ratio currently as it is, it would do a 4.14x at current price. Now let's look at if Ethereum goes to $17,000, okay? And Pulsechain does a 5x ratio, or does a 5x on top of Ethereum, okay? Pulsechain would be at 0.00083, around 0.003. So that's a 35x. So current price of Pulse, current price of Ethereum, current price of that ratio. And then going over to the final Pulse price, 0.00083 with the potential of 35.0x. If the ratio stayed the same, didn't move up or down, Pulsechain would be at 0.0016, a 7.2x potential. Now let's do like a little like the Moon Boy math type of thing. So if Pulsechain does a 50x, imagine Pulsechain doing a 50x on top of Ethereum. Why did I pick a 50x on top? Because Sol actually did it, Polygon actually did it, just because of where they started and then where their high point was. During the last market cycle. That's are some of the numbers that are possible. So I kind of wanted to give out outlook of the possibilities. So once you look at that 50x or Pulsechain doing a 50x or 50x the ratio of ETH, and ETH goes to $17,000, Pulsechain would be at 0.0083. So around 0.008. That's a 350x. So like looking at here, so Pulse, here's the pair. Here is how many X's, and that's 17. Right here, the price of Pulse currently, the price of Ethereum currently, or Rapid Ethereum, sorry, and the price of the ratio. And then looking at if it doesn't do anything, as we saw at the last thing that we're kind of going over, 7.2x. So it's the same numbers. But here's the final Pulse price. So it would be around 0.0083, a 350x. So once you actually start thinking about like the possibilities and tuning out all the nonsense and bullshit going around, and just like maybe just listen, listen to what they have to say. But this is the thing too. After you listen, start doing your own homework. Start looking at the blockchain. Start doing all those things. Start rewatching Richard Hart videos. So let's just say that there's a conversation being had and a person says X, Y, and Z, and they don't provide the context, or they don't provide the wallet address, or they don't provide the information. Do your own homework. Try to go find it, because when you think about it too, it's like if you look at the way that like politics are structured, like politicians, and they come to the mic, or they come to the media, or they do these different things. Majority of the time, they don't give you like where they get all this information. Majority of the time, they're lying out of their assholes. Majority of the time, they don't give you the right information to help out your future. So it's like, once you start like being a part of these different spaces and things, just really like don't get too emotional about it. Like really manifest and pray and think, but also do the due diligence of doing your own homework. Like if it's like part of the blockchain and looking up different like things and wallets and connecting and all that kind of stuff, do that. If it's like a thing that Richard Hart kind of like talked about, and XYZ, go back to, or be like, oh, hey, can you provide that video that he said all that stuff? I would love to go back and actually rewatch it myself. And then if those people are going to go like, oh, I don't remember, it's just so long ago. Like, it's just like, all right. So right then and there, you got to really think about it and be like, is he just saying this and oh my God. Like, is he just saying this to, or she's just saying this to get under my skin, or have his own narrative or own like thing that he wants to try to like give out to the world, So it's like, once you start like thinking about it that way, it's like, it's good. Like Pulsechain is really cool. Kong. God, I went on for like about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. What do you have to say about that?
I think people just need to smarten up a little bit. So, and if anything, like, if you know people that are a bit, I don't know, let's say uncertain about whatever, you could probably even share this stream with them and just get their, get them to maybe turn off the gym rat and turn on Coach X and just get another perspective and see how everything is, right? I guess nobody knows like Gym Rat Crypto. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I don't want to say too much about that whole situation, but I would just say if you're a regular crypto user, it's not the best to kind of follow into your emotions. And even like we're kind of at the lows of Pulsechain right now. Like, I don't think it'd be very smart to kind of just call it quits here. So,
Well, Kong, real quick, what's not go on those kind of tangents. Sorry, guys. I'm just really passionate about this community. Really passionate about building. Really passionate about PGC. Really passionate about UFO. Really passionate about Pulse and PHEX, and I'm really passionate about EX. I really like EX. But like, did we go over all the things when it comes to X Protocol and Alliance X? Did we miss anything?
it's a good question.
Should we should we just go over everything once again? I'm just playing.
I'm trying to think if we forgot anything. I'll just say like we are working on some website updates. So there's probably going to be like more of a queue on the X Protocol site with more of the Alliance stuff as well. What I'll also say is that I think if you're in the Alliance, you're doing very well, and stay level headed. In terms of other things we forgot, let me think here. I don't know. Yeah, we're doing website updates, X Protocol, Alliance integration. We have the all new sniper bot features we showed you guys, the Empire channels as well. I think it's worth mentioning that those channels, like I think it's worth providing more context around them as well. So if any of you guys weren't aware, there were plenty of groups. There was plenty of groups before that did kind of similar things, and they were quite expensive, quite expensive. And there was opportunity on Pulsechain, right? And these guys were able to spot it. So the Empire is that same sort of setup, right? Which is kind of the point in general of what we're doing here in X Protocol, is kind of setting ourselves up while everything's not so hot, because by the time everything's, warm to the touch, it's like, it's getting too late, right? You need to have like at least a little bit of a head start. So that's one thing I'll say about the Empire, is that channel is like being built out, and there's always like kind of new features and new things added. I think there's also like a Telegram sniper bot if you guys want to use like Telegram as well as like a website interface. We have that opportunity as well. But yeah, are we forgetting anything, Coach?
Let's see. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna. There. Should I talk to him? No. Should I talk to him about like, or what we were talking about? Not yesterday, but 2 days ago, when we were just like, not one of those planned VCs.
I know what
but
you're
just,
saying.
Should I say it? No, I can't say it. I should no.
You have to join the Alliance, right?
Yeah, you have to join. No, yeah, possibly. Yeah, let's do that. Should I? It's pretty big alpha though. No. I gotta wait.
I would savor it, right? Leave them on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
keep them paying attention.
I gotta wait for a little bit. I gotta wait.
One more stream.
One more stream.
But,
no, yeah, I gotta wait for that. But yeah, guys. All right. Usually we only go for like about 2 hours, but I think we got all the information out there, and yeah, like I said, I'm very passionate. I just want to grind. Same thing with Kong. He wants to grind and build like the foundation, and different tools for people here on Pulsechain. Same thing with Spy and like for me, like what I'm trying to kind of like do and deliver is as much as possible, and I'm just going to keep on building, keep on growing the ecosystem of not just PGC, UFO, and X, but in Pulsechain, Hex, and PulseX in general, in my kind of sort of way, and what I think uh, seems fit. And it's not going to be like any other individual out there, because I know I'm unique. I know I'm different, you know, but at the same time, I know what I'm talking about. I know what could be the possibilities in the future, you know. So, you know, if you want to join the alliance, if you're on YouTube, it's down below in the description, and then also the information is going to be a post or a link on X Protocol itself. And there's going to be a couple more updates of X Protocol too, like the Sniper Dex tool interface, and then also the bouncer incorporated to X Protocol. Also, actually, I could say this, and then currently right now too, we're working on the LP token locker. So that's still being worked on. We had somebody kind of like do a little audit, and we're trying to just make sure that everything is perfect when it comes to that. And yeah, like in the future, anything is going to be possible that we're going to try to build and develop for Pulsechain. And like, and then start thinking and imagining what kind of possibilities that we can implement for the future. And that's what I'm only going to say. You know, it's just like at the end of the day, no expectation from the work of others, but we're here to build, we're here to deliver. And Kong, do you want to have any last words before we land the plane?
Yeah, I was gonna add on to what you said there, just in terms of like we're here to deliver, we're here building. I don't know which projects out there are doing what X Protocol's doing to, you know, this extent of like, I think it's been non-stop, right? Just like pedal to the metal, like the entire way. So yeah, and if anything, we've been picking up momentum and speed. So that's what I'll say, as well as like I'm not sure very many other projects that are still like, you know, developing, active, updates, all that type of stuff. So
well guys, with that being said, appreciate everybody coming in the stream. We had about 341 people at some point in time listening, watching, and hopefully it's informative. Hopefully that you understand what like the team of X Protocol is trying to deliver for the people of Pulsechain, the people of PGC, the people of UFO, the people of X. If you like, it's just like the framework and the mindset is, and also like Pulsechain and P Hex and E Hex and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just like it's going to be a blink in an eye, or a blink in an eye. And gosh, I'm losing my voice right now, but it's going to be a blink in an eye where that bridge or that exchange or the people start coming onto Pulsechain to understand a different picture when it comes to DeFi, a bigger picture when it comes to what kind of like world that we're trying to build here when it comes to cryptocurrency and when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that kind of stuff. And not everybody's going to agree with everything. not everybody is going to have the same kind of viewpoints. Not everybody is going to have the same kind of mindset when it comes to building and providing tools and providing like a community that works together, that that share the same values of becoming their own bank, becoming their own future, becoming their own vision and mindset and strategy. And then also just understanding that there's market cycles that go up, market cycles that go down, market cycles that go sideways, and just capturing and understanding what you can actually do for your future self. So with that being said, guys, hopefully everybody has a beautiful weekend. And if you want to be get into the Alliance, I've been starting to ramp up random VCs, kind of like just chatting with the community, chatting with the everybody, getting everybody's thoughts when it comes to like different ecosystems, you know, and getting everybody's thoughts out there. You know, it's like it's a really cool dynamic what we're trying to grow here. And then also in terms of Monday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll get an in-depth outlook of where the SPY, where Bitcoin, where Ethereum, where Pulsechain, where different kind of altcoins on Pulsechain are, and then looking at liquidations, looking at all these things. And if you want to be a part of, I don't know, that kind of future and those type of things, like I said, you don't have to be a part of the community. You can just listen to these spaces and all that kind of stuff. But like another thing too, it's like when you really think about it in the bigger picture, where we're starting to incorporate the Alliance with X Protocol, what other like project in the world that actually has these same type of things built in, or not built in, but well, now kind of built in into the structure of the protocol? It's like you actually get to hear it or hear things out of the founders or the builder's mouths or the dev's mouth, or getting different like outlooks of what they want to be built out in terms of X Protocol, or in terms of what kind of tools that they want to be provided for their future, you know? So, all right, enough ranting. Hopefully everybody has a beautiful weekend, and yeah, see you guys on Monday. Peace, guys.
Awesome show.
I was sick.
I pushed through when I was tired.
I kept going, even when I had no reason to believe.
I worked. Then I worked some more.
And I kept working. Until I became something greater than I ever imagined. Let's move on to the next target. Doesn't matter how strong or how numerous the enemies. Because they've all got something to fight for. To protect their family. To uphold their ideals. To prove who they are. To defy fate. Hunters will continue to hunt. And not a single one is ready to stop.
The Greys have long mastered space, but now they have mastered value. 2 technologies, 2 power sources, 1 mission. DGGC, the foundation of the Greys' digital economy. 12O, the limitless force that fuels expansion. Powered by Pulsechain, engineered for those who seek the future. DGGC builds the foundation. UFO breaks the boundaries. Evolve. optimized, ready for the next era. The network expands. The transmission is live. The Greys are watching.